so. But that's the great thing.
He did say.
Welcome to the whole glory. Yeah, so
That's some LSD math.
you know, and like maybe LSD works on mantises, maybe it doesn't. We don't know. But if it does work on them, strong dose for the mantis. It was a strong dose for the mantis.
And that was the Sleepy Jerry Quartet with Stinkhole Thursday.
Because you got to be mentally prepared to be like, okay, I'm ready to trip some balls.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, we gave LSD to a praying mantis once.
How did you administer it to the mantis?
We had it was liquid, and we the mantis had landed on me, and
you were just that fucking fucked up.
I was just making breakfast on the beach. The mantis landed on my hand and stayed there for a surprisingly long amount of time. I was like, oh wow. And then this girl came by and she had some liquid LSD and she was like, you guys want some? We're like, yeah, sure. And so we all took a little bit and then we put like a drop on my hand, like right next to where the mantis was. Uh-huh. and so there was like, you could see there was like a little puddle of like one little drop.
Little doggy bowl.
And the mantis takes its arm.
Oh man.
And it puts it in the little puddle, and then it like swipes it like this in its mouth 3 times. And so, I mean, it didn't look like it like didn't like the taste or anything. I mean, it doesn't taste like much, but.
Can you imagine if you licked an entire arm of your own arm of LSD? Like, imagine just the ratio exchange between being on your hand. Like, it's a whole life is this thing.
Well, not to mention, 1 dose for a human and then 1 dose for a little tiny praying mantis. It was probably quite a bit.
Like how many praying mantises are you? Like, like 200,000 maybe? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Something like
10,000.
that.
I don't know.
It probably weighs less than an ounce.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what my praying mantis ratio is.
So what's 170 times 16? Whatever that is.
Like 22 or something?
Yeah, like 22 and a half.
It's like at least, I don't know.
I think it's like 22 and a half.
I haven't caught up on my fractals. Yeah.
Yeah. So
that's some LSD math.
You know, and like maybe LSD works on mantises, maybe it doesn't. We don't know. But if it does work on them, it was a lot for that. It was a strong dose for the mantis.
He's going back, or she, if it's a 9-binary.
Her name was Bella.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a whole thing.
Her name was Bella, yeah.
Oh,
okay. She ended up sticking around for the party and hung out.
So it was like a pet or something?
No, it was a wild mantis who landed on me and never...
you named it and gave it LSD, and then that's it.
And it never left for hours.
Well, I think that says a lot, you know. I think that probably did have an effect on it.
It probably was. But like, before we gave it to it, it was already there for like an hour.
Yeah, you know, that's true. Who knows what?
You know, but I do think that had some effect and probably was the reason it stayed for the next 8 hours or whatever it was. Yeah.
That sounds about right.
There was a lot of mantises out on Lake Shasta
that
night.
On the Shasta Playa.
Yeah, there was another one that landed on Brian's head, on his hat. We named it Buongiorno.
Buongiorno.
Yeah. And that was a fun weekend, and you know, I have photos to back this up. This really happened.
Yeah, no, I have no idea. So this sounds recently then. If
it was a few years, it was like
where were you? I'm sorry, you were
Lake Shasta. Okay, it was like 3 years ago.
Okay, so you're outside
maybe.
and like it was.
Yeah, we were out camping Had a little houseboat there
I
and
have a feeling that
camped on the beach.
all the other mantises have died, and that one's still alive, just tripping balls. Like the acid has kept it alive this long. It's like life cycle has been expanded, like its mind.
Yeah, we were joking about how, like the collective consciousness that insects have, and like ants, they all follow each other.
Right. The hive mind kind of.
Yeah, so we're like this
philosophy.
mantis is gonna bring all the other mantises to the party with its collective. Like, oh, this party's sick. Dude.
BYOM.
You guys
your
better
own
show,
mantis.
better show them. Like that would have been amazing if like thousands of mantises just came to the houseboat,
just dressed
with
up in costumes.
sunglasses.
Yeah,
and,
totally. Like sparkles and fucking t-shirt cannons.
yeah, like sequins fur and
Yeah.
like mink's coat.
Ready to do some butt stuff.
Yeah, just ready for anything. Fucking got their bikinis on,
Fuck.
tits out.
Tits out all day.
Yeah,
Fuck yeah, dog.
yeah.
So, do you ever have a story of someone who's never done something before, and you've like, for example, someone who's never smoked weed before, or like done acid, or like mushrooms? Have they ever done that with you? And you?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, yeah.
Because
you?
I was thinking, well, this is just a small potatoes, but like I know of my sequences, but I always remember there was this girl in college. She was like, I've never smoked weed, blah 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 blah, and we were always like, and like weed's obviously just like the gateway, that we're just like scratching the surface.
Yeah, right.
But if you've never smoked weed,
it's not as
dude,
heavy
if you've
duty.
never smoked weed though in your life, smoking weed is like LSD.
It's intense.
It's
It
super
is a
intense.
psychedelic.
I have given several people their first weed things, and like they will disappear into a bathroom vomiting for like an extended period of time. So, anyways,
Right.
this girl's finally ready. She's like, okay, I'm gonna smoke weed, and we like made a big deal about it, and like everyone's like, oh, she's gonna smoke some weed. Like we're already been, dude. I wake up fucking smoking it,
yeah.
So everyone's like, okay, and she was like, Rob, if I'm gonna smoke weed, I want to do it with you. And I was like, cool, that's awesome.
You seem to really know what you're doing.
Totally. You seem experienced, like a shaman. Obviously, you've ruined your life doing this, so I thought maybe I'd just dip my toe in.
Take a few pointers.
Yeah, I've been watching you from afar, and I want to be that. So I had this awesome bong. It was actually my favorite bong of my whole life. It was actually from Venice Beach when I came to visit my sister in California. We went down on the boardwalk and I found this fucking bong that hit like no one's business. And I'm actually, what's funny was when I bought that bong, I thought every bong hit like that. And like it's been a lot of trials and tribulations trying to find a bong that fucking, just like the circumference of the like pole mixed combined with how much you can get through the bowl and into the like whatever the bottom part is.
Chamber.
Okay, there we go.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, sure. I think the chamber is like the dong part.
Shaft. The shaft. Yeah.
And so it's
The
like
bowels,
it
maybe.
really is how much air can you get through like all, and then like how anyways.
Yeah.
It was like the God particle had been put through this bong, and it was just always. Dude, I still remember when it broke at the next house we lived in. Super bummed.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways,
It wasn't the girl who broke it.
no, it broke in a really unromantic way. It was underneath the sink in our next home, and someone pulled a pot out, and it broke the base. And we were all upset about it.
As one gets.
Yeah, we had like a funeral and stuff.
Did you really?
Yeah, totally. Dude, it was a classic.
Yeah.
Dude, it was
guys
like it was like a Voss or something, It was like around for a couple marriages and shit.
Right.
So we're at the house, and she's like, okay, all ready to do it. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, there's a lot of us there. There's like, but we're all from the same hometown, but like we have new friends there. It's like a whole thing. There's like literally like 15 people like in this circle in this giant living room in this like quasi sorority house. And she's like, okay, here I go. And so she takes the bong and she puts her lips around the outside of the bong, all completely sealed the entire bong, so all you can see is her teeth inside of the bong. And she's like, someone else is lighting it, and like someone else is gonna pull, like it's a whole operation.
Yeah, of course.
And like everyone obviously
She doesn't
starts
know how to do it.
Yeah, everyone starts laughing, and she's like pops her mouth off of the bong, and she's like, you guys are making fun of me. Oh my god. I was like, you have seen us smoke weed enough times to know you're not gonna try to put the entire bong into your mouth.
Yeah.
I was real. She was so upset. But yeah, it was really amazing
Was she
to
more
watch.
upset about being made fun of?
Yeah, she was really embarrassed, and I understand why. It would be like if I was trying to boof something and like stuck like the whole tube in my ass or something.
Right.
But I thought she had witnessed enough to know like who I was.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I didn't know how to smoke a bong when I first
Totally.
smoked a bong.
Oh yeah, and when to pull the ding dong
Someone
out.
did, yes. I think someone
The
always
carb,
does it for
the
you
carb.
the first
Yeah,
time.
totally.
Yeah.
Totally. And we were all there for it, but I'd never seen someone to try to
That's great.
try to swallow deep throat a fucking entire bong
Man,
for their first go round.
that's great. I don't have any good memories like that. I'm sure I've smoked with people who've never smoked before, but I don't remember.
Do you remember the first time like tripping or like mushroom? Or what was it? Was it mushrooms or was it
Yeah,
LSD?
I remember my first time tripping. It was LSD. And
How old were you?
I was 15. And
How did you get involved with this this afternoon or evening?
My friend had his driver's license already. He was 16. I was probably almost 16. Or maybe I was 16, actually. It's probably my sophomore year of high school, and we went to this music festival in Western Massachusetts called Strange Creek.
Sounds on brand.
Yeah. And so this festival was fucking awesome. It was like this giant field where all the stages were and the music. It was kind of like, live music, kind of jammy, bluesy, that kind of stuff. And
Like a blue jazz.
yeah, like some Canadian blue jazz.
Totally.
And rock too. And there was like kind
Yeah.
of
Oh yeah, some like metalcore.
like Pink Floyd, Allman Brothers, death metal quartet, pretty much. And the camping was in the woods. Right, the music's in the field.
Okay.
The camping's in the woods, which was
were there adults here or like what's this?
Yeah, there were adults there, and that was the coolest part about. I mean, as far as anyone knew, we were adult-ish.
Right.
You know?
Right.
16,
And I'm sure they
or
were having
16.
fun too. They
Yeah.
were probably
Oh, yeah.
drinking and shit.
Funny story that I'll get to later is we ran into one of our high school teachers there with his wife, and he was with his wife. So anyway, yeah. So anyways, we set up our camp in the woods. We're setting up our tents. It's me and two other buddies, and we set up our tent. And the guy setting up his tent right next to us had like
Classic tent move.
sheets upon sheets of LSD, just like hundreds and hundreds of hits. And we're like, all right, well, I guess this is the time to try it. I think my other buddy who drove us there had done it before, and it was my first time. And so we were like, all right, let's try this. We'll try his acid, and if it's good, we'll get more. Let's try it out. And it was fucking amazing.
How many did you take and like what was he just like, here man?
We bought like 10 or something, and we took like 3 each or something like that. I think maybe 2 or 3 each. And I think me and friend A
Friend A.
took 3, and then friend B actually was just like super cracked out on like ecstasy. He had like rolled the night before, and he was like cracked out, and then he took more rolls or something. He didn't take the acid, but it got really funny because friend A and I were just on like cloud 9, like on this acid trip, like
Totally.
our minds are moving a mile a minute. We're going back and forth.
Yeah.
And then friend B would chime in on something we were talking about, which felt like it was like we were talking, like he'd be like, oh yeah, and then like yeah. And we're like, dude, we were. It's been 2 hours since we even said anything that pertains to your response. He was just like in slow motion, like cracked out.
Right. Well, he, you know what? I've been in that situation, and like sometimes, like I'll hear something during the conversation that like I go on a trip on, and you are in another. And they're like, I'm just circling back.
Yeah.
Just like, hey, you know where like maybe it was 45 seconds / 45 minutes ago. Not sure. Maybe yesterday, but I was thinking about this.
Yeah, so at one point we were all just sitting in the tent, and we had this lamp in the middle that we were staring at because the light looked crazy. and we look over at friend B, and his face was like, and he was like I said, to us he was moving really slow, kind of robotic, and he was just operating on this whole other time scale, right?
Yeah.
And he just moving really slow, and we looked at him, and his face was just, to us, looked silver, looked like tin or something, or iron, and so
like metallic, yeah.
So we started calling him Iron Man, and that's literally been his nickname ever since. Everyone just calls him Iron Man now. Yeah, this festival was great. There was they were playing. They had this giant screen in the woods that they were showing movies on. They showed like Alice in One. Not Alice. Like
Wizard of Oz. Or
they showed the Wizard of Oz with Dark Side of the Moon, and then they played this Beatles movie.
They knew what they were doing.
Oh yeah,
they knew what they were doing.
And pretty much like to us, it felt like everyone there was tripping.
Yeah, well, when you are tripping, everyone else is tripping.
But there were a fair amount of people who were tripping too.
It sounds like the type of place that was probably...
It was strange.
I mean, you had the tent next to you had 30 sheets of acid.
Yeah, exactly. So he wasn't just keeping them all for himself.
Yeah, he's not going archery. He's not doing archery.
Yeah. So they turned out to be good, and we got more the next day.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, it was quite the experience. And
Ooh.
Another thing that happened. So so we went out in the field to watch the music, right? And we ran into Mr. I forget his name.
Mr. T?
He was our high school English teacher, and awesome guy. We were too scared to go up to him and say anything. We just like saw he was having a good time with his wife, and so we just let him, do his thing. And
his name, Mr. What?
I don't remember now. I can't quite recall.
Okay.
Yeah, but and then we were like out in the field, and I couldn't figure out if there's it looked like it was a plane, but I couldn't figure out if it was a real plane or if it was just a remote control plane or something.
Like a shooting star.
Yeah, and I couldn't tell if it was 25,000 feet away or if it was like 7 feet away. I had no idea. So that's just like, one of those things that happens. And that was probably the first time I ever smoked 3 packs of cigarettes in a day too. I was just like, wow, these taste so good. This is amazing.
It's just like you're just like smoking the filters.
Yeah, just like, oh no, we bought 3 cartons of cigarettes with friend A's mobile gas card, credit card, and
the statute of limitations have probably expired. But I understand I didn't say names either. Friend A or companion A or whatever. It's so good.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I ever did acid was at the Fillmore. I was in college, and Galactica and the Funkadelics were playing.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Parliament Funkadelics.
Yes, that's who was playing.
Yeah.
And I'd never done anything like that before.
Yeah,
and
it's a crazy place to do it.
And the only reason why it happened was like we were already there, and I was getting pretty festive at this point. And he came up over to me at the bar, and he was like, "Dude, I got some sweet tarts." And I didn't know what that meant. But apparently in Boulder, when you're in the Grateful Dead community. That's he's got some sweet tarts that were dipped in a lot of acid.
Right.
And I was again super fucked up. So I was like, oh yeah, no, totally, it sounds great. Let's do a shot. Like it sounds like that when you're like that. But I'd never done it before, and I was like, whatever. I was already like fucking going for it. So I was like, whatever.
Yeah. I'm a sweet tart. What the fuck is it? I don't care.
Yeah, totally. Like, and I had already taken. He was like, that's a lot, and I was like, well.
You ate like one sweet tart?
Well, do you know what? These are the big ones.
Like a wafer?
Like a
it's
big,
like a wafer.
Yeah. It's not like the little tiny, like little plastic
Yeah,
ones.
I think
This
I know
is a big dog. This is like the big gas station ones.
Yeah. Those Circle K sweet tarts.
Yeah. People know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And, all of a sudden, I'm just like, oh. And I was watching the band. Like, if the band is this way, I'm watching the band. Yeah. And I just turn around backwards and I'm in the standing room only portion of like the Fillmore in Denver. And I turn around backwards and there's this dog that I still see. I still know exactly what it looks like. And it's going in between everybody. It's going in between. I sit down on the floor, sitting in between of everybody, facing the opposite direction, watching this dog go between everybody. It's coming over to me, and it's getting closer and closer. And it's just almost like a shadow. It's like a serpent, like in the night. And it gets over to me, and it gets up on two legs, and it turns into a human and keeps walking. And I'm just like, totally. I was like, whoa. And so that was just like the start of the whole evening, which was a really rough evening because I've never done acid before. And this is how it started.
Yeah. And you were drinking before the acid?
We were doing more than just that.
Cocaine.
I was super cracked out, ready to
That's
fucking.
That's a terrible way to start a 12-hour acid trip.
Yeah. So that's my first acid. So we end up, I don't remember the rest of the concert because I'm just in such a rough state. And we go back to this like it almost feels like an abandoned house, I'm sure, because it's all like deadheads and like super druggies. This is an environment I'm not used to. And so we go in and I'm tripping. I'm really uncomfortable. And like everyone else is like, this is their comfort zone. This is their like wheelhouse. This is like how they show up to things. I am beyond fucked and I know it, and I make them put me in the bathtub, and I'm taking a bath at some stranger's house, and they bring me in some tea, and I just remember seeing this, like, on the teacup there was this like wagon it was like a horse and carriage, and I could just see it moving, and I was like, oh god, I still remember this cup to this day vividly. And I was like, I gotta get out of here. And they're like, okay, we'll put you in the attic. And I was like, cool. So I go up into this. So I go up in this attic all by myself. And at this point, I'm like ready to vomit. And so like that's where I'm at in this whole like escapade. And I'm up there by myself, and there's nowhere to vomit except for this wicker basket that doesn't have a bag in it or anything. So I'm just vomiting into this stranger's wicker basket with like
their old laundry hamper.
Oh yeah, just like it was just up there.
Yeah,
I was just trying to put it into something. I was trying to be responsible.
Well,
at this point.
first of all, how rude to put you in the attic by yourself.
Well, I also requested this. Like,
you just wanted to be away from people.
I couldn't be around anybody. I was really uncomfortable. Like my heart was racing.
That makes sense.
I had all of the anxiety of all of humanity on me.
Oh yeah. Right.
And I didn't know if I was ever going to be the same. And like every time I closed my eyes, I saw more. Like I saw more every time I closed my eyes. And it didn't matter if my eyes were open or not. Like my brain was just receiving visual, like everything, all of it, all the colors, everything. Yeah. All night. Right. And they're doing blow and just fucking getting cracked out. It's like, I don't even know. That's how I started with them. I can't even imagine where they arced to.
It's wild.
So I think by the morning at like 8 or 9, I was like, because I had to go. I was like, I gotta go home. I don't want to be here. I don't know any of these fucking crackheads. Like, I'm in like a crack house. Like, I'm like, I gotta go home. Like, and I'm just like, finally, like, and I'm comfortable enough to finally leave. Like, I need to go and I want to go, and I drive home like this, and I still remember this to this day. crawl into my house. And then my roommate, one of my 6 roommates, Matt, looks at me and goes, someone's fucked up. I was just like, and I couldn't even go into my room. I just crawled into our living room sofa, and I just like whatever sleeping bag was rent. We lived in a weird house, like was around. I just stayed there and sweat all day.
You couldn't sleep, obviously.
Oh no, I never like my whole body was like, oh. It was a really terrible experience. Actually, I don't think I've ever tripped acid again.
I don't blame you.
I don't think there's anything there that I am missing. If I am going to trip, I would rather do mushrooms or ketamine.
Mm-hmm. Fair. That's fair. Yeah, I stopped taking LSD.
Dude, your story of the cliff.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're in the mood to even tell that.
Yeah, maybe another time.
Maybe another time, because that is a world-class story, but I think you need the energy to tell it in the way that it needs to be told.
Sure.
Because I enjoy that story more than anybody.
That was a big wake-up call of like...
What am I doing?
Yeah, like, hey, bud, you don't need to take a fuckload of acid to have fun.
Right. In fact,
in fact, you might have way more fun the less acid you take.
So, dude, are you having fun right now?
Yeah.
I'll just wait till the sun comes out to get off these cliffs.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude.
To be continued.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I much prefer mushrooms now too. And
well, they're warmer and it's just more holistic.
They're
natural.
Yeah, I feel more connected to the earth.
They are
and ancestors and love and peace. And LSD has that too, because LSD does come from a fungus, just like mushrooms do. It comes from a fungus called ergot.
But it's like the Red Bull of like.
But it's also synthesized in a lab, and depending on who's the person synthesizing it, really affects the overall vibe of the drug, which sounds weird, but it's true. It's like the intention that's put into it has a big effect on, like, if someone's like, I'm going to make a shitload of acid so I can make a shitload of money, that acid's not going to be as good as someone who's like, this is a sacrament. This is something special.
This is a moment.
This is something special for people to have this experience to grow and to like, that acid's going to be a lot better. And plus the care put into it is a big thing, you know?
Right. Someone who genuinely is into that the same way you are into it.
Yeah.
They're making it for themselves instead of someone else.
Yeah, right. Or they're making it to help people and not help themselves.
Right. The genesis of the creation of it comes from a place of warmth and like nurturing and healing rather than I want to make as much money. It's like the fentanyl of like LSD. Mm-hmm. You know, same with, Molly and MDMA and, all that stuff.
Absolutely.
How pure do you want to go and what are you going to get that mixed with? It's like that fucking terrible Gary cocaine did.
Yeah, exactly.
If you ever wanted to fucking stab your eyes out and shit yourself at the same time, that's your way to go.
Just do a few
I got a number. I got a number for you.
Oh man.
Yeah, if you ever really regretted every moment. Oh dude, I have a funny story. I don't know if I've ever told anyone this because it gives me anxiety to tell and I'm really ashamed of it.
Okay. Well, no pressure.
So I just think I'll tell everybody.
Do what you must.
Dude, I remember when I lived in Santa Monica with her, and there was this one day I had a Gary bag, and I always like have these romantic ideas of, I'll just do like a little bump and then it'll make whatever I'm doing better. Like just like when you smoke weed and like go to a movie or something. So I was like, and this shit is obviously heart-wrenchingly terrible stuff. Yeah. And so I was like, I'll go for a hike. That's a good idea. My buddy Ryan sent me this song the night before. I worked on it, dropped some 808s in there. It was like really cool and like super vibe. Actually, I want to find this song. It was really awesome. I had my Fiat 500, and I was like, I'll go on a hike. And I brought this little baggie up on the trail. I did like a little key bump, like dude, like 800 yards in. And I was just like, ugh. And I was like, I can't even walk anymore. And I was like already angry. And like, I was like, oh, what have I done? And then I started doing more, like the whole like 800 yards back, just like in the fucking woods, like a crackhead fucking doing this. And I get to my car and I'm like, God, I can't even go anywhere. So I just started listening to this song over and over and over and over and over. And I'm just like super cracked out. And finally I drive back to my house on 7th Street in Santa Monica. And I see people I recognize like walking by the car. And like one person even said something like a couple days ago, like, oh, I saw you parked in the car and you didn't say anything. And I just remember just like all day I was just like had this little tiny baggie that like I couldn't stop doing it. And it was everything I hated.
Yeah.
Everything I hated, and I couldn't stop. And like I knew I was hungry, I was ashamed. It was like all of the dark, like, and I couldn't stop. And I still had like little bits. And I was like saving little bits. And like I was just then all day I felt so gross. I even feel like throwing up even just talking about it right now. You know, and I don't know if I've even said this story before, but I spent my entire day sitting in the driver's seat of my Fiat 500. Listening to the same song over again, just like terrified. And was like, what are you fucking doing?
Something you hate.
Yeah.
And that makes you feel
And you have
bad.
to keep doing it in order to keep hating yourself.
Yeah. And that's a perfect encapsulation of why it's the worst fucking drug there is.
Dude,
because it doesn't even like I mean,
it doesn't amplify anything.
It accomplishes nothing.
It just wants you to do more of it, and then you just like shut off from everything that you were connected to or like enjoying. Like sometimes it's been fun. Like if I was at a bar and I was like, yeah, dude, like, and it was like, oh, okay, and like for like 30 seconds, it's like all right, but then like. So long as you don't have the rest, like so long as you don't have access to the rest of it, and like that was it, you're good. Like it's the perfect amount, like just like a little beep, and like so long as you don't have access to any more, and you don't see the person that gave it to you, your night is good. You might be up for a couple extra hours. That's okay. You might be grinding some teeth.
You can withstand it.
Yeah, but you're not bleeding out of your eye sockets like in the fucking shower bath crying.
Right. Yeah. I've had good times, but more often than not, it's absolutely horrible.
Yeah, it's the coming down and like trying to get better.
And these days, it's
not worth it.
It has never been more not worth it because I mean, if you don't,
it's almost like the drug is telling you to stop doing it.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Which is the way it should be.
I mean, it would. I mean, yeah. It would be cool if it was legalized. Therefore, you shut down all the cartels, and then, I mean, you don't shut them down, but at least you take, it's slow. It makes it so it's regulated, and then you get clean, pure stuff as opposed to like stuff with fentanyl that kills people.
Right. We've taken such a funny journey with that. 'Cause I remember, in college in the late 90s, early 2000s. A kind bag. You always had to make sure it was a kind bag. You even had to say it. Was it Kind Buds?
Sure. Yeah, like, is this good weed?
Yeah. And then eventually cut 10 years, now it's 2005 in LA. Now things are kind of legalizing and like things are becoming, and it was very expensive. It was even more expensive then. And now it's the cheapest it's ever been. And you can get the craziest, you can get anything. Just imagine that sequence with anything, mushrooms, for example. Mushrooms is a great example because they're like, okay, what kind of trip? Because like with mushrooms, you're just like, what the fuck am I getting into? Like these could be, how potent is this little thing?
How potent, and where is your mind when you're taking it?
Well, that's that's the most important thing that I always took those types of things in the worst environment, and so I always had this stigma and like a puppy being beaten or something. You don't want to experience. Am I gonna die?
Yeah, I've had those experiences too, and it was mainly because this is in hindsight that I took it. I wasn't ready to take it. I was thinking about it in this way of like
it's like something else I've taken, but like I was like, oh, it's like alcohol, but like different,
right?
But I don't know what different means, at this point,
right? It was almost like, hey, let's party or something, right? And or let's let's get fucked up, or let's like take this and see some crazy shit, and that sort of mindset going into it, you're never going to be ready for what the actual experience is. I mean, some people handle it a lot better than others, so that maybe that's not true. But for me, at least, I wasn't ready.
Well, I think the intention is wrong going into it.
Exactly.
You're just like, I just want to get fucked up, even
Wrong
more
intention.
fucked up. It's like you're not doing a shot anymore. You're not doing you're not drinking wine. Like, you're doing something completely different. Like, yeah, I just want to get fucked up, and you're like, oh, I'm not ready for this experience. But now, when you know what the experience is, you can be like, okay, I am ready and welcome. Mm-hmm. Changing my mind this way, or now I'm in the right environment. I'm not in a public mall.
Yes, right. Doing it in public is always horrible. Yeah, and it is it's a mind expansion thing. It's like, it expands our consciousness, right? And that's something that's easier to do when you're in a safe place, when you're in your house.
And also, you're looking for it too, and you're welcoming it, and you're looking for it.
Yeah.
Rather than like, what do I have to deal with now? What is this? Is it going to end?
Right.
Am I ever going to be the same again? Mm-hmm. And when you go into it knowing like, oh, I will be fine, and I'm with safe people, and actually, they will amplify this, or the wherever I am will amplify whatever this is.
Right.
Because I'm ready for it, because I know what it is, and I can pair it with something that amplifies it, rather than something that like.
Yeah, and you know enough about it,
right?
Where like
you're educated.
Yeah, like I know about it now. I know it's non-toxic. I know I'm going to be fine.
I know I'm not going to die.
And I know, and I think what you said is a great point of like having someone there with you who's experienced can help you through it. Can definitely make the trip better and make your experience better and like a lot better. Because you might get hung up on some certain thing of like some thought loop of like fear, and someone who's there with you, your friend, someone.
No.
You're okay.
Come with me.
They can tell you you're okay.
Yeah. Don't worry, I've had that thought too. What you need to do is focus on this over here. Look at this.
Uh-huh.
And then all of a sudden, 1% degree movement, just a 1 degree movement, you're ending up in a whole different world.
Yes.
Whole different
Perfectly said.
universe.
Yep. It's true. It's all about the intention going into it.
Yeah.
It really is. And it's a very powerful experience, and I think it's very the power of it can't be understated. And I think it's synergistic with humans for whatever reason. It's like it's such an important tool, and it's also such like when you've experienced it, it's like this is possible.
Right.
Like this.
Right.
This level of like understanding and love, and
it's like having a lucid dream, like you're awake and you're like, I don't know, you're gonna experience things that you can't experience.
Right.
Just in.
Right. Because your brain is opened up to these new pathways that have never been opened before, and you're making new connections that it's almost like you're a child again, seeing everything for the first time.
Yeah.
And
that's what I've heard about, like ayahuasca and stuff, is like a rebirthing of a lot of that. And I know mushrooms can be that way too, but I can even, now that I've experienced those depths, I can only imagine the depths of those things too. Because I know those are like, you got to like get your body right to even experience them.
Yeah, you have to have a certain diet.
You can't be drinking all night doing cocaine and being like, hey, you want to do some ayahuasca?
And you can't be on certain pharmaceuticals either.
And why would you want to be? Because you are there to seek that experience.
Right. And that's a DMT thing. And DMT is only one molecule different from the active ingredient in magic mushrooms, which is psilocybin. And DMT is the active ingredient in ayahuasca as well. But instead of like smoking DMT, which lasts for 15 minutes, the DMT is orally active. You eat it because they mix it with this MAO inhibitor, and then it lasts for a couple hours. I've never done it myself, but I guess it lasts for at least like an hour to 4 hours, and it allows you to get a better grasp on whatever the plant medicine is trying to show you or help you understand about yourself.
Right. The reason why you came to it.
Yeah.
Certainly.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So
It'd be interesting to talk to someone who's been through that exact experience, because
yeah,
I know a couple of them, and I know you know a couple of them. It'd be fun to kind of dive into their experience in a nice, neutral, loving. The vernacular is escaping me right now, but comfortable and safe place to talk.
Yeah, I think we should definitely do
about
that.
those things.
I would. Yeah, that'd be very interesting. Yeah, I think it's what I've heard is that it's people are called to it, kind of like you said, or like it comes into your life, and it's very interesting to me. I've never tried it, and I think I know like there are places you could do it, a few miles from here, but or like the way that most people at least used to do it is and still do is go to some Costa Rica or Mexico or South America and with a shaman. And I think maybe those shamans are a little different than LA shamans. I don't know, but maybe some of those shamans came to LA and are giving people ayahuasca ceremonies here, and they're fantastic. I've heard that too, so it would be interesting. But I feel like doing it in the jungle would be more. Yeah, more. It would be more.
Yeah, definitely more than like West LA.
Yeah, and someone's like fucking. Well, I mean, like who knows? Maybe they have a really nice house or something. But
yeah, but I just feel geographically your body knows it's in a different place too. It's like a bird that knows to fly south or something.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like you're in the right magnospheric.
Yeah, ethosphere.
You just keep twisting that, dude. It's gonna change.
There we go.
It's at the head, I think. I think it's over there. Yeah, there you go.
There we go.
There you go.
All right.
Yeah, I think we might have to take our first break. I gotta pee.
All right, yeah, let's take a little break.
Sweet. So now a super special sultry spot from our sponsor.
Are you or someone you know always wishing you could come faster? Well, great news! Now you can with our brand new product, Jizzapon! I've never come so fast! Whoa! You'll be coming way faster than all your buddies.
First place!
Jizzapon! This feels amazing! Jizzapon!
I'm coming! Oh my god! I've never come so fast in my life!
Jizzapon!
Oh my god, I come so fast now!
Jizzapon!
Oh, I'm coming!
Oh my god!
I'm coming!
I think I'm
coming!
Jizzapon! Side effects may include dizziness, heart failure, explosive diarrhea, spontaneous pregnancy, twins, internal bleeding, sore buttholes, cockroaches in your kitchen, night terrors, mouthy lovers, sticky sheets, day terrors, ruptured eardrums, external bleeding, sterile semen, river blindness, color blindness, regular blindness, completely blind, swamp ass.
And we're back.
Yeah, this is Stephanie Morninglight.
And Dilbert McGoo.
That was that timeless Sven Q classic, I Saw Gary Busey Crap on the Beach, off his sophomore release, Big Green Nutsack. Didn't you like that?
I did.
Just fantastic.
You can catch him every Thursday at the nearest dumpster fire. He's right by the Rite Aid next to that abandoned smoke shop.
The one with the crying homeless guy in front.
No, that was me.
Oh.
I was just trying to find my ride. I thought you were my Uber.
Yeah, me and my shopping cart.
I always try to start crying uncontrollably before my Uber comes. That way we don't have to have any conversation the entire way.
Oh my god.
Just sobbing. I'm like, oh, that's them. Okay.
Oh yeah, I've been the Uber therapist before. Trust me.
I'll tell not today, but I will tell the final.
Excuse me.
Academy Award winning story of me being chased around the block with dog shit.
Oh yeah.
I will.
Yeah.
One day I will tell that.
Good
but
teaser.
I will tell it in its full glory. Every moment. Every moment.
Yeah. Another time.
Yeah, definitely. No, not as now. Not as now the not time.
So I used to drive for Uber and Lyft, and there were, me being me, I wasn't like so, sometimes you feel bad for people, and you're like,
Oh, you mean you have empathy and you're a human?
yeah, and you're like, hey,
Shame on you.
Like, how you doing?
You're
like
not an alpha if you have feelings.
they get in your car and you're like, hey, how are you? Like that's pretty standard, and
Yeah.
at least for me it was.
A pleasantry.
And they'd be like, oh my God, well, I just left rehab like an hour ago, and I just got some meth, and now I'm calling my sponsor, or now you're bringing me to my sponsor's house so he can bring me back to rehab. That was just one example. Another one would be like, oh, my boyfriend just broke up with me, and and instead of being like, cool, and then turning the radio up and not saying anything,
Right.
I'm like, oh, well, like what happened, and then next thing you know, you're playing Uber therapist, and
Yeah. That recalled a memory of my mind that of a story. I was doing a K Jewelers commercial, and every kiss begins with K, that thing. So, and this is a big thing in every K Jewelers commercial. There's a kiss,
right.
all of it, and you have to do it in the first calls. You have to
the
do it in
actors have to
Yeah.
kiss in the casting call.
Yeah, they gotta see it.
Uh-huh.
They gotta see it.
Right.
So this is one day I'm running it, and like I am fully aware of what I'm gonna have to face all day. Like a lot of people are like, "Oh, you get to see people kiss all day." I'm like, you have no fucking idea. I have to deal with every single person's emotions about all of their thoughts about this process all day.
Right.
And it was. I started off really well. I was in the lobby watching the U.S. play Germany in the U.S. World Cup in like the quarterfinals. This is back in like
96.
no,
That's when it was in the
dude.
U.S.
No,
Oh,
they were playing against the U.S.
I thought you said in the U.S. Sorry.
No, they were playing against the U.S. This was like 2014, 15.
Gotcha.
Whenever that was. But the U.S. had made it like really far, and they were playing Germany.
Okay.
And this girl comes and she's the first to sign in. This isn't actually the story I'm telling, but this is just how I'm starting it. And she signs in. She comes into like the lobby too, and we're both watching it, the game. And it's actually pretty amazing how soccer, we all make fun of soccer because football is like America's sport. But when the American soccer team is doing well, I have seen a lot of people who have come out of like the woodworks, like, I like soccer.
Yeah.
I've been liking it the whole time.
My precious.
I'm relevant. We might be relevant.
Right.
And she was for Germany. She was this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful girl. And it's me. We're watching this game, and it comes to be that like she's for Germany, and obviously I'm for USA. It'd be crazy if we were both for Germany, and like we showed up there.
Yeah. Just
And,
wearing your Nazi.
no one else was showing up. And there was a few cancellations, and I was like, so if you want to get out of here, and my casting director that I was working for wanted me to audition anyways for it.
Yeah.
So I had to like go through this conversation of like, so yeah, you're for Germany, huh? So what do you feel about maybe like kissing in that casting room in about 4 minutes? I mean, I didn't know any way to say it. I was because like, if you gotta go, you gotta kiss somebody, and I'm auditioning for this. So if you're okay with kissing me, let's just do that.
Oh, like,
Because you don't get any joy out of it. It's not like
so you get to pick your partner.
Well, I had to go with somebody. She wanted me to audition,
Right.
but there's no one I was scheduled with. And also, your schedule is fucked all day, anyways, because like 40 people can't make their call times and need windows and like all this shit.
Sure.
So it's not like they're like, I picked someone for you, Bobby.
Right.
It was just this girl. I was like, hey, and she's like, well, I didn't, I was like, well, I mean, if you go with me, we can just go right now.
Yeah.
She's like, okay, cool. And I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Well, it was just like a little smooch. It
Little
wasn't
German smooch.
It's not like you're like wrangling porno stars.
Yeah.
and, like,
It's not like you're sticking your tongue up their
Totally.
nose.
Well, yeah, well,
which would be hot. K. Jeweler should get on that.
Yeah, totally. Every nose begins with Coke. Every nose begins with Coke.
That would be great. If there was just a little white on the bottom of the nostril and then the other, and then the girl licks it off or something.
So the story I wanted to tell is this. Dude, check this out. So later on in the day, in the afternoon, I'm in like full like autopilot mode, going. And one of the scenes is I have to bring in two couples and they're like having dinner together and the guy decides to propose. And that's the scene. And so I have to bring in two couples. So I'm always waiting for two guys, two girls. And I have like a lobby of like 8 guys, 2 girls, you know. So I just need to like let it breathe for a little bit because it's going to even out. Because then if I just see these 2 girls with all these guys, then I'm going to have 8 girls and like no guys to go with.
Right.
It just needs to even out. And I can't make people drive there when they're supposed to. So later on in the day, this just happens. So I bring this quartet in. I was going to say foursome, but like it just sounds
dirtier.
Different. Yeah, especially in casting.
More sexual.
Yeah, we're going to do a...
Sounds like golf.
Yeah, totally. It's a par 4. So I bring the par 4 in, and we do the whole names and everything. And so it's like this like dinner thing, and the guy gets up and like proposes, and this is near the end of my day. It's like 4:30ish or so. He proposes, and it's like this whole like scene, and like I'm just like, you know, I'm like trying to get as much emotion with the camera shot as possible. Cause what else am I gonna do? And I some of them leave, and I'm getting near the end, and I need to hang on to this girl that just got proposed to for another group. Otherwise, they're not gonna have enough people for it, and they can't do it. And I was like, hey, can you come into the next group? And she's like, I need a moment. And I was like, oh God, what did I get myself into? And she goes, we didn't say anything when you put us together, but that is my ex. And I always wanted him to propose to me, and he cheated on me. And so to have him be my partner and to propose to me when he's the one who ruined our entire relationship.
Yikes.
It just all avalanched onto me, and I don't know if I just need a moment. And I was like, no problem. You're going next. And I felt so bad for her. And she, we even talked about the next group after that. She went again. And she was like, I didn't know that I was going to feel that way. I didn't know. I was just like, oh yeah, you know, we broke up. It was years ago. Right. But I didn't realize that like that moment was what I always wanted from him.
Whoa. Did she know going in that it was going to be her and him, or it just happened randomly?
Yeah, and they thought it would be fun.
Oh, okay.
Because, dude, imagine you saw an ex that you didn't have any like bad like shit with, and they're like, oh yeah, no, like we'll be the partners because like like we gotta make it happen anyways. Like at least we know each other,
right?
You know, and she didn't realize she had these unresolved, really deep emotional things, and they all came out when someone's genuinely trying to propose to you, and you're like in front of all these people, and you just haven't gotten over that yet, or like haven't moved on, or no, I don't even know if it's that. Like there's just there's like these catalogs that you build over time that you don't smooth over. They just exist. You know, however someone sounded or smelled or kissed or what they liked.
Yeah, it was a clear trigger.
Yes.
And
to a complete it was like a library card like thing that was just like got opened up. It was just like unlocked this whole like incredibly suppressed thing that she had suppressed.
And you could see how it would.
Totally.
And,
totally.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Sorry, whoever you are out there.
I felt terrible for her. She's a beautiful girl, obviously. She's stunning. I mean, they're all K Jewelers, like fucking models.
Right.
But K Jewelers is they always punch above their belt. So I'll put that. Anyone in those commercials wouldn't be using them. But, to each their own. To each their own.
Sure.
To each their own.
Wow.
Yeah, dude, I have so many moments like that. Dude, oh my God. I don't want to talk about it right now. There's another moving moment, but it's for another time. I'd rather try to move on to some more.
Switch it up.
Yeah, maybe take that 1 degree separation and maybe go this way a little bit.
Yeah.
What do you want to talk about, bro?
I don't know. What should we talk about?
I found the squeakiest chair, and it has gotten it has gotten more squeaky through time.
Yeah, it's a squeaker.
Yeah, it's really good doing vocal sessions.
Yeah.
I always like to.
Yeah. You have to.
I go by the BPM though. Like,
It's the
I'm
click.
keeping the tempo.
Yeah. You seem to be a fucking statue in that thing.
Dude, I have to be. Well,
Yeah.
I know it squeaks because I can hear it before they go, and I just.
Yeah, hold your
my
breath.
butthole is
clench
so
your butt.
tight. My
Yeah.
butt is so tight. I could fucking make diamonds, dude.
Yeah,
Fucking blood diamonds.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's a good side business.
Yeah,
That's a nice little side
we
hustle.
wanted to build this up and be more positive. So,
Yeah, we can sell your butt diamonds on
it's my
eBay.
my Bobby Diamonds, dude. That's a good name, Bobby Diamond.
Yeah. I think there's already a Daddy Diamonds.
This is Bobby Diamonds and his girlfriend, Dr. Shen Montgomery,
This is Bobby Diamonds and the butt.
and the butt plug brigade with their big hit, face blaster.
Blasphemous face
Blaster.
blaster.
Face blasts for me. And their big head. Face blasts for me.
Face blasphemy.
The Easter hit.
Yeah, that's a tough thing when someone calls you that.
Coming to you this August. Also Easter.
Yeah.
Easter August.
Yeah, everyone knows Christ's trail birthday.
Awful August. Coming to a meth lab near you.
Spark it up.
Coming to a neighborhood with meth.
New Mexico.
All of New Mexico.
You know what? That's probably not fair.
I think it's probably more than fair.
I think I think Arizona probably has just as much meth as New Mexico.
Oh,
and California probably has more.
Dude, let's do a meth off.
Yeah, we should count meth.
1,
2.
2. 1 meth. 2 meth.
That'd be a great Sesame Street episode.
Just like 4 hours
Count
later.
Chocula's just methed out.
Dude, so like. What was he? Hi.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, what's that, Valsy?
I can't do it, but I can't do as well.
That wasn't it.
We need to get a. You know, it would be cool if we got some burp technology. If we got some
Bring it in already, dude.
if we got some tech that allowed us to like look up and play videos and stuff, or at least like, or I mean, yeah, I mean,
Well,
or
all you need is OBS.
I mean, really, I guess we could just
I got
play
that
it out of
going
the
right now.
speakers.
I got it right now, dude.
Oh.
Well, what you need to do is like everything.
Yeah. I'm just saying that'd be cool. I'm not saying let's talk about it right now, but
Yeah. Well, we also need to add a video element to all that, and so you need multiple cameras. You're gonna need to start syncing stuff. Everything needs to be synced together. Get to one
Sure.
place.
right, which is why audio is way better.
Yeah, this is why this is a podcast.
Yeah, it's too much things to fiddle with. We got enough to fiddle with.
Dude.
as it is.
I saw a shiny object the other day. I was like, oh, I need to fiddle.
Yeah,
Must fiddle.
right.
So I fiddled it, and I was asked to leave the the lobby.
The lobby of McDonald's.
Yeah, totally. The Play Palace.
Just
they've been getting rid of those. I don't know if you've noticed that. Play Palaces are gone. Dude.
Yeah. Probably because people like you are in there clipping their toenails on a Wednesday.
Dude. Best place to clip your toenails, dude.
Yeah, they just fall into the balls. And
Where am I
never
supposed to
see
clip my
them.
toenails? My toenails are just like
They you've just been growing them out.
Well, the play palace was closed.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do?
Guess I'll just let them
Clip my
grow.
nails like yeah, totally. It's just like the Neanderthals. I'm just like a bighorn sheep on my feet
Yeah, it's like a Tibetan monk.
with toenails.
With really long toenails.
Oh, jingleberries.
Yeah. Do you have any funny like animal experiences? Or weird or crazy or like do you ever get been chased by a dog or anything?
Oh, I've got the greatest story of all time.
All right, great. Let's hear it.
I'm gonna tell it. I haven't told this in a long time, and it's good. It's real good. All right, so
Let's hear
are you pulling your pants down?
it. Story over.
Let's hear it.
Let me get my dick out so I can properly listen to the story.
Get a third mic out. All right.
Choke on this.
I do have an animal story. I haven't thought about this in a long time, and there's definitely going to be some corroboration on this bad boy. So, I grew up in Grand Junction. I think everyone has. You don't have any reference to how you grew up at all, because you didn't grow up anywhere else.
Right.
So we had a neighbor. I'll call him out because one of them was my best friend, Dave Wall, the Walls, and Harlan Wall, and is still to this day a exotic reptile. I don't know the right word. Not dealer, but someone that procures these exotic animals, and I'm talking about like Komodo dragons, pythons. Right. Like I remember going over, and they'd have a box of mice, and Harlan would just grab them, pop the neck, toss them in, pop the neck, toss it in, pop the neck, pop it in. It was like a real like circle of humanity in there. So they had all these snakes, all these things. They feed them dead mice. It was a whole thing. So okay, so let me get to this moment. So Dave is my lead singer of our like high school band. Yeah. And dude, we're fucking kicking ass. Dude, we had this awesome concert at our high school. Probably the first ever concert put on by students. Sold tickets to it. Yeah. And like the whole thing. Anyways, so Dave Wall's my bro. Still is. Still my homie. Harlan's an interesting character who has another story that ruined my life for a little bit. So I'm at the Walls house, and we live in the same neighborhood. We can walk to each other's house. And that's how we grew up. So I'm chilling with Dave, right? All right, here we go. So I gotta take a shit. And so there's this upstairs bathroom next to Dave's room that I'm going into, and this is also where Harlan is keeping 2 giant anaconda pythons warm with heating mats. And when you first say that sounds insane, but I've been here many times, and I'm used to like how all the different rooms are used for things that are not probably normal at all. Yeah. And so I pull my pants down, and I sit on the toilet to do my duty, and they're both asleep. So they're just like, I know this sounds weird, but like I'm sitting there literally like this, and there's this giant white, and an albino python has like it's almost like has like tan little pieces of it as well.
Right.
And so it's just huge on these heating mats because it needs to be like heated and it needs like humidity and stuff. And so this is where it's stored. And this is not weird to me because we used to go out and shoot like an AK-47 with a 75 round drum. Like this is like how we grew up. Like things like this, we're just like, oh, this is.
So the anacondas were in the bedroom.
No, I'm in the bathroom. We're in the bathroom.
So that's where he keeps them. And the bathroom must be pretty big.
Oh, it's bigger than ours. It would be like obviously no one hearing this will.
No, it's okay.
But it's like a bathroom. It's like a little bathroom. It's a bathroom with just a little bathtub and a shower just right next to it, just like a normal growing up house.
When you think of a big anaconda, they're fucking huge. though,
dude.
So like they're like
it is just coiled throughout the entire bathroom of the entire floor is
So
covered.
did you have to step
So my
on
feet
it?
are over between next to the toilet on either side because it is around all of this.
So you were touching it as you were.
I don't know if I was actually touching it. I'm sure it would be aware that I was there,
Okay.
but I wasn't. You
All right.
know,
Anyways.
they were obviously around these people all the time.
Sure.
It's not like they ended up there.
People poop in there normally.
Yeah, right. This is their bathroom.
Yeah. Yeah. This isn't the first time someone's pooped in
Right.
there.
It wasn't like the anacondas appeared, like a bunch of albino pythons appeared in the bathroom.
Yeah.
So I mistold the story. I thought there was just one, and I kind of ruined a moment. I thought it was just one. And it is huge. So I'm sitting there. What am I, 16, 15, maybe 15, 16?
Yeah.
Maybe. I'm sitting there just like this. I'm just like, oh. And I hear a sigh that is not coming from the head that I know of.
Yeah.
Just this, and it is not stereo-wise where the head is. And that's when I see the second head. And I was like, oh, shit, there's two of them. And this one's awake.
Right.
And I'm just like, you know, just
Be calm.
Yeah.
Be cool.
right. Again, they're around them all the time. You know, I'll be around, whatever. So I'm just like, and it just starts moving, sticking its little tongue out, it's moving slowly, big, deep, and when they're that big and that long, like when they breathe, you can see like different, like layers of them because they're coiled together.
Right.
And I'm just like, oh, fuck. And I'm just watching it breathe and like move. I'm like, okay, cool.
And
Luckily,
you're
I'm on the toilet.
Are you still taking a shit?
Oh,
at
I
this
don't
point,
even know
or
what
are you-
was going on in regards to that
Yeah.
in any way, shape,
Yeah,
or form.
yeah.
Like, I'm just glad I was on the toilet.
Right.
And so it moves, and then I can hear the other one kind of moving, and I'm just like, oh, God. And now I have like a little fear of flight or whatever, and the one that had awakened first comes to the middle of everything, and it comes up and starts to rise, and I'm just like,
Oh my god.
yeah, 100% at this point. I am just like, okay, and I am sitting there like this with my hands exactly like this.
On your thighs. Yeah.
Yep, exactly right here. And I'm just looking at it. And it's looking at me. And it's doing that little... Dude,
Yeah.
like a cobra.
Yeah.
Like,
It's smelling you.
oh, yeah.
Yeah. With its tongue.
It's like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah.
And I am like, dude, I don't know. Because I'm not going to... I don't have... I mean, this is like the 90s. You know, there's no cell phones or anything. Like, I can't text somebody or like, I'm ready to grab its... I'm ready to grab its head if it comes. Because that's all I can do.
Yeah, just to stop it from eating your face.
Or my fucking...
Or your junk.
My junk.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was looking at my junk. That's what I thought it was doing. It was looking right at my junk and was like going to attack it. That's why I was like this. And I'm in this bathroom. I'm just like this. And there was this moment of my life. I was like, okay, this is going to happen. And I was like ready for it or me. I was ready. Ready. And if it was going to come, I was going to come. And I didn't know what I was going to do after that. But I just knew if I could get its head, I had a chance. And that's where it was at this precipice. And I'm right here, right?
Right.
And it's doing its thing. And we're both, time has stopped at this point. I'm sure it was very short. A few seconds probably. And it's doing its... And then it just goes right back down. And just like gets all cuddled in. And like falls back asleep again. And I'm just like... Oh my God. I am definitely gonna shit at my place after. Like I have. Dude.
Last time I used your fucking bathroom, dude, I would not have gone in there.
Oh well.
No. I would have never gone in.
Looking
there.
back on it, it does look stupid, but I don't understand. Like, I don't know if I can explain.
You were just normalized.
It was like growing up in a carnival.
Yeah.
Like if you grew up in a circus or something, like, and you just saw like the crazy shit all day, you were just like, okay, that's not weird. That's just scary.
That's wild.
It was totally.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah. So that's my. Well,
that was a good one. I'm glad I asked.
I still think about. I hadn't spoken the story in a long time, but I thought this was a good time to tell it the way it should have been told.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, that's not a story I've ever heard before. It's a good one.
Yeah. So, do you have an animal story?
Fucking anacondas in the bathroom. I'm pretty sure I can't top that. I had a little fucking corn snake once as a pet in college. It was my neighbor.
Oh god.
It was Chris McDade's corn snake that he couldn't have anymore, so his sister Jenny gave it to me. The family gave it to me to look after.
Naturally.
Yeah. And it.
You had some corn snake.
Yeah, it was a fucking corn snake, and we fed it mice, and it was like, oh, like I would like people would look at it.
Did you have to kill the mice before you gave it to it, or would you let it do its thing? Do you remember?
No, we didn't. We didn't kill them.
Okay, so they arrived live, and you put them in the cage live, and you let them.
I think both. There's these little pink ones that were that I think were dead, maybe. Yeah. And then we made a maze once, and we put it in the maze, and put the snake on one side and the mouse on the other side, and got out some popcorn and.
Did you really do that?
Yeah, like just a little cardboard.
Oh, so you couldn't see?
No, it was like cardboard.
Oh, okay. So the snake wasn't big enough to get out of the whatever.
It could have if it wanted to, but it was a pretty small.
It was enjoying its labyrinth.
It was a pretty small snake. I don't remember if it really worked.
It wasn't an albino python.
It was red and yellow, and
that doesn't sound good. And it sounds like both of the worst.
And it escaped.
Oh, great!
It escaped, and we never saw it again. And I'm assuming it like got into the walls or something at our house, and
it's still living there
on Two Winter. Yeah, in Plymouth, New Hampshire. If you live at Two Winter in Plymouth, New Hampshire, there's probably a snake in your house.
Snakes thrive in walls in winter.
Yeah, it's probably dead in your wall.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it died that winter for sure.
It's
sorry, Chris, about your snake, bud. I tried.
Yeah.
Hope you're not listening.
Not listening much.
So yeah, no, I don't have don't have an animal story that would ever rival shitting with two anacondas.
It was some real deal Holyfield shit, dude.
Yeah, that's just silly. It's just stupid.
Well, I mean, looking back on it, yeah.
Yeah.
But it worked out fine.
What a trip.
It worked out fine.
You got a great story out of it.
Dude.
Can't believe it like rose up and looked at your junk like, what is this creature?
His Facebook profile picture is still just snakes.
That's great.
Yeah, look him up. Harlan Wall.
Harlan Williams.
Yeah. That's it.
Same guy.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. seen like bears. Bears used to come up to my grandma's dumpster and
Like West Hollywood bears or like...
New Hampshire bears. They're black bears.
Oh, these are white influencers.
Yeah, no, West Hollywood bears eat way trashier than this bear did. Yeah, I remember one day the bear was coming up to the dumpster and like checking out what was in there, and me and my dad went outside, and I think my dad might have been like trying to scare the bear away or something. Stupid. And
Fucking stupid bear scare.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it was just like leave the fucking bear alone.
Yeah.
And I think he maybe was like yelling and maybe threw a rock at the dumpster or something.
The bear did.
Yeah, the bear, my dad. And yeah, and then the fucking bear came out all pissed off, and we were just standing there, and I mean, I think it was more scared than anything. It ran away, but it was still cool.
Well, that's why they lash out. Is even
you
a lot of animals
don't go provoking a bear. That's definitely not a good idea.
Yeah, no one's ever like, let's provoke that bear.
Coming up, the Jordanian Men's Child Prodigy Choir with their debut classic, Vacuum My Asshole, Uncle Daddy. This commercial is brought to you by Gristle Germain's Tie Whistle Crab Shack, your #1 family-owned place for getting crabs.
Canadian free jazz is really, I think, probably my favorite jazz genre. It's just got this bellowing beauty and breath to it,
Yeah, it's like a whimsical fart. Nothing happened in between. In the commercial break, nothing transpired.
Just a normal spliff and shit combo.
Yeah. Quick bubble bath.
Our neighbor's dog Larry barking constantly in the window. Oh, Larry, you son of a bitch. She pulled the blinds down all the way on him.
I know, he's
And
still
fucking,
he's still getting it, though.
He sees the shadows.
Yeah,
and he's still
like,
fucking cranking.
He's like, I don't fool me. I know those fuckers are out there fucking trying to enjoy themselves.
It's funny because we can see, we were just
The
out,
footsteps.
we were outside and we saw him, but when we come into the apartment, we look out the window, we can still see him directly across from our living room window.
Just the footsteps.
I mean, our podcast studio window.
Our house, our influencer mansion.
Our quarters.
Yeah, totally. The Holiday Inn over by Rite Aid.
Yeah, the military base next to Rite Aid.
We can see into a PT Cruiser across the street, really.
We live in a truck.
Live in a truck.
Dump truck.
Don't truck, just truck me. Trucking everybody in the truck.
But don't touch that.
It might be stale.
That's my magic beans.
Perfect. It's a good arc.
Yeah, so spliffs are good, okay?
Yeah, I just don't want to, I just don't want to get into all the heavy, music subjects and whatnot.
Fucking music. Can't believe people listen to that shit.
Well, you don't have to listen to it. You just have to pay $10 a month to destroy their lives.
Oh, yeah, you can just pay the money and not listen. That's a good idea.
Dude, I only subscribe to things I don't use.
Right. That's brilliant. Yeah, that's like
It's like reverse
buying a movie ticket and then just like smoking cigarettes in the parking lot.
And then just like boofing it.
Just boofing the ticket with all your other movie tickets from your life. Fucking
What a great metaphor.
deteriorating in your small intestine.
Yeah. Yeah, you get it.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a beautiful metaphor. I agree.
Well, that's brought to you by our sponsor, Chocolate Bones. You think your bones are brittle? Have Chocolate Bones.
It's a wig store.
Yeah, totally.
In
The
Georgia.
best Thai food in Chicago. The best Thai food in Twin Falls, Idaho.
Yeah.
Chocolate Bones.
I can see how that could be misconstrued. But I mean, there's who doesn't love chocolate? I love
it.
everything
Sounds like a
chocolate.
good dating app. Chocolate Bones.
Yeah,
Bones only.
there's jokes to be made there, but
Accomplished. Pass.
what if chocolate milk was what came out of cows and regular milk you had to mix in syrup to make?
What if regular milk was human milk?
That's what we've been drinking all these years?
Yeah.
Like, you mean cow milk was human milk?
Yeah, titty milk.
Yeah, well then that should taste good.
Dude, get more in that fucking French press in there.
That French press man, yeah, the mammogram of espressos.
The pinnacle of the evening. That's hilarious. That's great. The mammogram of espressos, there is that.
Yeah, I should have said like
It's fine.
lattes, but
Yeah, it's okay. You
You
get that in
get
the
it.
comments. Yeah. Squeaky chair.
no one puts milk in their espresso. Well, I mean breast milk though. Has anyone ever had breast milk in their espresso?
I'm sure somebody has.
Okay, well then I'm talking to you.
Yeah, it was great. Don't set me up for a T-ball question. dude. I'm Jose. I'm on steroids, man.
All right, Mr. Canseco.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, I'll Mark McGuire this. Sammy Sosa. Sammy Sosalito. Yeah, all good.
But he never did that.
He did.
No, not Sammy.
Sammy Sosa?
Never.
Sammy didn't what? Do the drugs?
Never. He would never do anything like that.
Wouldn't?
Oh, he's Sammy Sosa.
Sammy? Oh, really?
Yeah, he's Sammy.
I didn't know you were so
Sammy,
sensitive
man.
about Sammy. Sensitive Sammy over here. Damn, dog.
Yeah, he's Sammy.
He was legit.
Bro, he's Sammy.
Well, I mean, it's hard to argue with that evidence, Yeah, true that. My bad. The Sammy defense. He didn't kill his parents. Sammy.
Bro, it's Sammy.
Well,
It's Sammy, man.
it's Sammy. You can kill your parents if it's Sammy with a shotgun.
No, Sammy wouldn't do that.
It's Sammy.
See? It works.
Yeah, all the hits.
Uh-huh.
Talk about baseball.
Who do you think took more drugs? Let's be honest. Who do you think took more drugs? Sammy Sosa or Sammy Davis Jr.?
I mean, the definition of drugs would
And I'm
have
gonna
to be
want
defined.
I'm gonna want some references and bibliography.
But I think the definition
Oh,
of drugs.
I mean, like,
You're talking
let's talk about like, not coffee,
What we would talk about is drugs.
like coke, ecstasy,
I think the
psychedelics,
biggest,
weed,
you know what?
heroin.
I really believe because we
Meth.
are able, yeah. As technology has advanced, people can document more things, and more things get documented to a deeper detail all the time. And, you know, so that fades off the deeper you get, you know, back into the, you know, the 1900s and like the start of all of that.
Sure.
And
I mean,
who knows? And who knows what they even like?
Yeah.
Or having, because you don't have the 100,000 posts a day about something that might not even been happening. You know.
Right. We're not gonna know the answer. I'm just curious, like, if you had to guess, who do you think?
I just think.
Do you think like there was more drug taking?
I think
then,
it was
or
just
now?
different than it is now. Like
think
for
it was more
example,
then.
like we have so much technology that our entire day is arced through that technology. Like when we're gonna meet, what we're gonna do, blah 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 blah. And back then it wasn't that way. So it was like you had to literally plan, and so your arc of your day was totally different. Completely different.
Right.
It's, you know, they did what, you know, they're doing the exact same things any of us would have done to the same degree that they did in their time. And it's how we do it in our time is different than how they did. We just can document it differently.
Right. Yeah, and we have a better understanding of what things do as well.
Yeah, and I also don't know Sammy Davis Jr.'s specific super background, but like you know, I hope he fucking crushed it.
Maybe he did. Yeah, maybe he didn't do anything.
Dude,
I have no idea. I
hope he had a great time.
The only other Sammy I could think of.
Yeah,
that's really
besides a sandwich or something. A couple ladies.
Yeah, there's my cousin Sammy.
There you go.
But
a sandwich?
She's cool. She doesn't do that shit.
She doesn't do a sandwich. She doesn't like to be in a sandwich. Cut that one out. Oh, Dingleberry surprise. Brought to you by.
Yeah. That silly joke was brought to you by
Silly Joe. And his pet Eskimo.
Brought to you by Sin Whistle Dog Treats for when punching yourself in the nuts just isn't quite enough.
Just isn't enough. When punching yourself in the nuts just isn't enough, you want to get Sammy's nuts right in the butt.
Just trying out some sponsors here.
Yeah, I know. We lost all our sponsors before we got. Know what the trick is to not have any. Then you can't lose them.
Yeah, I don't like that plan. You like
gaining sponsors?
I like bubonic mescaline as a sponsor. You know, they send me fun things in the mail.
True that.
And I'm going to be a lifelong subscriber.
Little shout out to Radio Shack in Circuit City real quick, if that's cool.
Oh, yeah, always.
And Blockbuster.
Yeah.
And Sears.
What was your favorite video?
Of all time?
Of Blockbusters.
Oh, man. Probably True Lies, probably.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, why did that resonate with you so?
It's such a good movie. So much fucking hilarious comedy in it.
Is there?
Are you serious?
I don't remember a thing about it.
I know
it's like Jamie Lee Curtis and Arnold Schwarzenegger, right?
Oh, dude.
Is that right?
Yeah, dude. There's this scene in the movie where Bill Paxton. She's banging Bill Paxton. He's a used car salesman. And Arnold Schwarzenegger figures out about, and Arnold Schwarzenegger is pretending to not be this like world famous like murderer spy guy. Uh-huh. And so he realized that she's been going on dates with Bill Paxton. Again, used car salesman. So he shows up at the used cars lot. And he's like, oh, yeah, the Corvette out there looks real good. And like Bill's like, oh yeah, no, yeah, I guess we can take. It's like his most. It's like the prized possession of the lot. He's like, I don't know if I want to take this guy in this car. It's like, yeah, no, yeah, we'll take you in the Corvette. Or whatever this car is. I don't know if it's a Jaguar or a Corvette, but it's like a drop down. And so there's a scene, world famous scene, where Arnold's driving. And he's like, and Bill's like, oh, yeah. And he's like, oh, yeah, you've been hooking up with this lady? Yeah, what's that like? What does she do? What's her name? And so he's like trying to get her to like say all these things. And he's like, oh man. He like gets into like all of like the nitty gritty. And you just see Arnold like in his prime, you know, just fucking backhand him and just break his face completely open. He's like bleeding and like all this stuff. And then it just jump cuts to him not doing it and him just like laughs like, oh, like that's like what he imagined doing was like beating the shit out of this guy. And he was just like, it's such the whole movie's so funny. It's like this like deep spy thing, but like this like retarded love story that's going on at the top that doesn't matter about it. It's between her and this dude, and it's so funny. It's a great movie.
Okay, I'll give it another shot.
You should watch that again.
Yeah. I feel like I should watch it with you so I can see it through your eyes.
Yeah. Oh, no, you don't need to. It's a great movie. It's a classic, dude. It's a classic.
Okay.
All the hits too. He dives into the water while an explosion goes up. Like it has all the hits, dude. He's on helicopters. It's like Terminator, but like hilarious.
Okay. Yeah. Can't say I saw a lot of the Terminators either. I think I maybe saw like a few minutes of one. Dude, two. I saw a few minutes of two.
Arnold's funny because he did a lot of funny stuff too. He did Twins with Danny DeVito, where he and Danny DeVito were twins.
Oh yeah. I think I saw that.
And like he had to carry the baby or something. It was
Kindergarten Cop.
Oh yeah,
right?
exactly.
Was that the one with Danny DeVito?
No, it was called Twins. That one was called Twins.
He
was twins with Danny DeVito, and they found each other later in life.
Oh shit! I gotta see that again too.
And then I think that there's a movie where Arnold Schwarzenegger has a
dad.
Baby. Yeah,
gets pregnant.
Yes. Or they have to implant it in him or something. He's the one who has to.
He carries the child and has the child.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. I don't remember what it's called, but I remember that. It's like
that was Kindergarten Cop.
That's what I thought it was.
Terminator 2.
No, that was Terminator 3.
Can you imagine that life? All those scripts and all those sets and stuff, like Total Recall and like Terminator.
And then he's the governor of California.
Yeah. And he grew up in Austria.
And he was Mr. Olympia or some shit too. Is that what it was? Mr. Olympia, I think.
Galaxy or
he was probably a few
Olympus
things. He was a few things. I think
yeah.
it was Mr.
Olympus
Olympia.
or something. Yeah, maybe it was Olympia. Is it Universe? Mr. Universe?
Yeah.
For 3 or 4 years in a row. Total psychopath in everything that he does. Like he gains strength by friction.
By working his fucking ass off.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he always says. He's like, I work harder than everybody.
Yeah.
And he does.
Yeah.
He's like, I get the pump on. There's this video where he's like, I feel like I'm coming when I pump, and I'm just getting pumped. This is literally him. I feel like I'm coming, and everybody else pussies out.
Really? He says that though?
He doesn't say the pussy's out, but he says it feels like he's coming.
That's great.
When he gets like really jacked and like has been working out for 3 hours. That's what keeps him going. That's what makes him who he is. Because he's like coming the whole time. Wow. If like everything you did was an orgasm, like you would probably be good at whatever that is.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah. Right. It sounds exhausting though too at the same time.
Yeah, that's a lot of coming.
Brought to you by Top Ramen. Their new flavor. Arnold. Get your pump on. If you're not pumping, what are you doing? If you need to sleep more than 6 hours, sleep faster. That's a quote he says. That's a literal quote.
That's so great.
If you need to sleep more than 6 hours, you need to sleep faster.
Oh, man.
He's so true, dude. You should try all of the things and of the speaking of the talking hole and all of the feeding. You need to get pumped.
All of the feeding.
Sometimes you need to feed the talking hole with all the food stuff. Get pumped. Only 2% can eat this much. This is why 98% can't eat this much. Only 2% can eat this much. Only 2%.
Did you say
2% can eat this much. Whole. Only 2%. Oh,
you said, I'm sorry. I said
you must fill talking hole. Talking hole. Talking hole is great too.
Oh my god.
Oh yes, all of the feeding and of the sticking of the food in the talking hole. Oh yes. Need to get pumped. Sleep faster, you fucking bitch. All of the Ferris of the wheel and all of the spreading of the legs and the calling of the wolves.
The wolfhounds.
The wolfhounds will not harm you if you call them properly. Speak of the milkshake hole. Double your nipple. Double your nipple intake and you will.
Brought to you by Nipple Intake.
Brought to you by the Anti-Nipple Campaign. Reverse nipples.
Free the nipple.
Reverse them. What's the next topic?
Let's see here.
What do we got from our viewers?
Let me check real quick. Alright, we have some suggestions here. This says okay, this is weird, but this is what it says.
Perfect.
We played some music earlier, and someone commented on it, and they wrote, "If you like this new genre, fusion jizz, straight out of the streets of Rainbow Fucktown, check out their new album, Rainbow Fucktown."
I mean, that's pretty understandable. You know, I would like to check out Rainbow Fucktown. What kind of music do you think that is?
Fusion jizz.
Fusion jazz. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's pretty. So it's like as if like Santa Claus was doing some slam poetry.
Could be anything.
Well, yeah, it's just town. Fucktown.
What it's not is a Christian band.
Oh.
So we got that. I mean, I'm pretty sure. They don't talk about jizz that much.
Really?
Yeah, they don't like jazz.
I mean, that was a big Jesus topic when he was like a thing. Jizztown?
Oh, yeah, Jesus was a jazz head.
Yeah, jazz head. That's what, yeah.
Right.
Jazz.
Yeah, like
Oh, were you saying
Miles Davis.
Were you saying jazz or jizz?
Like Miles Davis.
Oh, jizz.
John Coltrane.
John Cochrane? Come train, John.
West Montgomery.
Yeah, see, here we go.
Who else?
That was basically the entire history
Of jazz.
of jazz. If anyone needs their doctorate in jizz, that's jazz. You're welcome.
And coming up, Beatrice McCullough with your stepmom's favorite Canadian free jazz masterpiece, Don't Fuck Me Gentle.
Don't fuck me like that. Hey, don't fuck me like that. Don't fuck me like that. Don't fuck me like that.
You know, just Chipotle Neil Young burrito fart.
Don't fuck me like that. Hey, don't fuck me like that. Don't fuck me like that. Don't fuck me like that.
And welcome back.
Yeah, you know, there's been some cool genres over the years. And I think jazz is pretty fucking cool. And it gets a bad rap sometimes for being too notey. You know, like sometimes there's a lot of notes going on and a lot of fucking weird harmonies and strange sounds compared to what we're used to, like pop music or folk
Or jizz.
or fusion jazz. You know, Canadian free jazz is really, I think, probably my favorite jazz genre. It's just got this like bellowing beauty and breath to it, you know?
Yeah, it's like a whimsical fart.
Yeah.
Gentle,
Like
hot.
Like a gentle, hot Neil Young fart.
Like a gentle, hot, saucy, you know, just Chipotle Neil Young burrito fart.
Yeah, there you go. That's it. That's what it is.
That's what it is. You know, you'll find that at Target.
And that's why I love it. You know, it's just so fresh.
You'll find this at Pottery Barn. Our new scent, our new scented candle.
All right, we're gonna play a quick song for you here, and hope you all have a great evening. Here you go.
Dildos in paradise, gonna roll the dice on your face. Sometimes I wanna feel nut sacks and bass, yeah. Dildos in paradise, gonna roll the dice on your face. Sometimes I wanna feel nut sacks and bass, yeah.
That was Cheech Mongren and the Swole Brigade with their debut single, Falafel Climax.